The LINC Works curriculum provides a large amount of material, resources, and supports that are specifically designed to grow learners' employment-related vocabulary. In each module, the essential vocabulary items for learners to know have been identified and compiled into lists and activities for practice and review. The module activities and lessons document for each module, except WMIS, encourages instructors to teach a vocabulary lesson before beginning Lesson 1. On the vocabulary pages of the module activities and lessons document, it is suggested that instructors spend approximately 90 minutes on the initial vocabulary lesson, and that they include 25 minutes of review time in each class after that. If you are a tutor or are teaching a part-time class, this amount of review would likely be unrealistic, so it will be up to you to select the activities from the lesson plan that will work well for your context. Under the time recommendation, we see a note that encourages instructors not to shy away from teaching difficult vocabulary items, as many of them are essential for success in the Canadian workplace. After that, the lesson plan states which materials, files, and websites will be needed to complete the activities on the following pages. A list of the module vocabulary is included on this page, as well as a link to the Quizlet page for that set of vocabulary. Before teaching the vocabulary, be sure to check that the link for the Quizlet is working. To see the Quizlet page, simply copy the link from the lesson plan and enter it into the address bar of an internet browser. On the Quizlet page, you will see large flashcards for each of the words in the vocabulary set. Click on the flashcard to see the definition, and click the next arrow to see the next flashcard. The full list of vocabulary can be found below the flashcards. There are several activities that learners can do with Quizlet, including taking quizzes to learn the vocabulary and practice their spelling of the words. Learners can also play games with the vocabulary, such as a timed game where learners must match the word to its definition by dragging the words and their definitions together. After the vocabulary list and Quizlet link, you will see a note that lists the vocabulary items that will need to be pre-taught for PBLA tasks. If you do not intend to use the assessments, you will not need to worry about these words. On the next page, you will see a lesson plan that has a list of activities that instructors could use for their vocabulary learning, study, and review time. First, note the needed materials, outcomes, and objective sections. After that, you will see a list of options as to when you should or could introduce the new vocabulary. No matter when you choose to introduce it, you will need to use the vocabulary and vocabulary practice handouts for the relevant vocabulary set. The vocabulary handout contains 2 tips for learners as they attempt to learn the new vocabulary. It then has a list of words with their parts of speech, definitions, and sometimes an image. Instructors could teach the vocabulary using the page as it is, or cut up the page and have learners match the words with their definitions. Each list also comes with the vocabulary practice page. This page has instructions for the learners to go to the Quizlet page and practice learning and playing games with the vocabulary. Then it asks learners to write the words in the boxes next to their definition in the table below. Some vocabulary practice pages have multiple word boxes and tables to complete. At the bottom of the vocabulary practice page, you will see a table where learners can sort the words into ones they already know and ones that are new to them. Once instructors or tutors have introduced the vocabulary using the vocabulary and vocabulary practice handouts, the lesson plan suggests teaching or reviewing the parts of speech with the learners. Activities for teaching this are included in the Grammar Activities folder, which includes a notes sheet that explains key information about the parts of speech, as well as listening, speaking, reading, and writing activities that enforce this grammar point. The lesson plan notes that if all of these activities are completed, it should take approximately 5 hours of class time. This may be unrealistic for part-time classes or tutors given time constraints, so select the activities that you think would be most helpful for your learners. Next, the lesson plan suggests teaching strategies for vocabulary development. A set of materials on this is included in the Reading Strategies folder with the title, Identify Key Vocabulary. In this folder, instructors and tutors will find a set of notes and handouts that teach learners how to identify, look up, and study new vocabulary items. There are also handouts with activities that support learners' dictionary use skills. The lesson plan also suggests teaching word attack strategies, which can also be found in the Reading Strategies folder, and has a similar set of activities that teach learners how to sound out and understand new words. Teaching all of the suggested materials from the Reading Strategies folder may be unrealistic for part-time instructors or tutors, so be sure to only use activities that you believe will benefit your learners most. Finally, the lesson plan includes a list of activities that instructors or tutors can choose from in order to teach and review the module vocabulary. Any handouts needed to facilitate these activities are found in the Supporting Materials folder under Vocabulary. Materials in that folder include a board game template, a vocabulary notebook, and dictionary skill building activities. Some modules, such as the WMIS and First Aid Certificate modules, have multiple sets of vocabulary included in the handout files, along with the other module materials. These vocabulary lists should be taught in the order that they appear in the module activities and lessons documents. Instructions regarding when and how to introduce these words will also be included. This screencast was funded through a grant from Alberta Advanced Education. The LINC Works resources were funded by the Employment and Social Development Canada Office of Literacy and Essential Skills.